Podcast, your high source for discussions on horror, sci-fi, and fantasy. And now here are your hosts, Izzy and Matt.
Welcome back to the Cinnabud Podcast. Again, we are your hosts, Izzy.
And I am Matt.
And tonight, it is going to be our big-ass Captain Marvel episode. Cannot wait to talk about that one.
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
But first and foremost, I'd like to go ahead and start via our game section.
Nice.
And we're going to go ahead and talk about Devil May Cry 5.
Yeah, let's hear it, dude. So Izzy's been playing this. I really want to hear about it. Devil May Cry 5 has always been kind of like the hack and slash sort of like quick-paced, like, I don't know, insane combo game, in my opinion. Which
Pretty
is,
much.
It's always been really, really difficult as well. Like a very high level of difficulty, and that comes from me playing Dark Souls right now. Like I do
Right.
think it's probably on a similar
Different
level.
kind, yeah.
But yes, on a different like wavelength. But yes,
For sure.
absolutely
that's exactly,
brutal though.
Yeah, the fifth one is no exception. Same brutal gameplay. I mean, basically, it is like hack and slash. It's, kind of horror themed as well. Like just like all the other games you still play. It's like Nephilims, like, these half human, half demon characters. But then there's also new characters that pop up and old characters that pop up that were featured in previous entries in the series.
Okay.
Like Trish and Lady. They were in the past Devil May Cry games that surrounded Dante.
Right.
So they pop up again. But now there's this new guy named Five. But he's like, his name is like the Roman numeral, so it's just like a V.
Nice.
I
That's
thought,
cool.
Yeah. Well,
And, peace, Dexter.
all right. But yeah, so as Dexter just falls there and dies.
Yeah.
And he actually reminded me, his name isn't Five. I keep thinking Umbrella Academy. That's still on my mind, obviously. But it is V. They call him V.
Nice.
In my head, but originally, that's what I had thought. I thought he was Five because of the Roman numeral. I guess I just overthought his name in the trailers or whatever. But anyway, his powers are really cool because basically throughout this game, you play as not only Dante again, but you also play as Nero, who was the hero featured in the last Devil May Cry 4.
Okay.
But then you
Isn't
also...
there a comedian named Dante Nero?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure there is. Go on.
Hey, that's interesting. But then now with V, you get to play as him as well.
Mm-hmm.
So his powers, he doesn't physically fight besides like smacking the enemy with his cane, which comes in play with combos. And how that comes in play is he summons or manifests like a spiritual like bird or hawk, as well as a panther.
Cool.
And they attack for him. And as they're attacking the enemy, he can pop in and land a few hits to help with the combo as well.
Nice.
Because as a combo progresses, you fill up like your demon gauge or demon trigger gauge, which is basically if you had ever played any of the Devil May Cry games, that's like when you can use like super powered like demonic powers to go ahead and do like different skills or moves to decimate the enemy.
Right.
So that's basically how he would fill his meter. And his gameplay was really interesting because he's not one to like go in head on. He kind of stands back while everything else is like attacking for him. Mm-hmm. And you're still hitting the normal attack buttons.
Right.
But they're controlling like this one controls a panther, this one controls a bird.
That's cool.
Type of deal. And then you can come in and...
Just for, like, basic attacks, each one?
Yeah, and then you would come in close, like, with his cane, because he walks with a cane.
Okay.
And to go ahead and smack the other ones.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But you start the game basically as Nero. So it picks up where I think 6 years it was, 5 or 6 years after Devil May Cry 4's story.
Mm.
And it's really interesting because his look's different. His look was very similar to Dante in 4, where he had like the kind of like, similar hair that's down to here. Because in this game, he looks more reminiscent to the remake or the reboot of it was dubbed DMC.
Okay.
Did you ever remember that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that look of Dante, it's kind of like this Nero adopted. Because he looks very similar, except his sides aren't shaved. It's all even around on his hair.
Okay.
Anyway.
I love the art style for the Devil May Cry games. There's like super anime on steroids.
Yeah.
In a weird way. I really love it.
Yeah, and DMC was like trying to be all real life and stuff. It was weird.
Right.
That's
true.
I mean, the fighting was fun. But anyway, I'm glad they went back to formula on this one. So yeah, you start out with Nero, then you go to V, and then you play as Dante as well throughout the story.
Right.
So you have like all of them to play as. I haven't gone through the whole story myself. I'm still in the beginning. But it's really really cool to see, or really beautiful, I should say, because this game actually runs off the RE engine. And that's the same engine that was used for Resident Evil 7 and the Resident Evil 2 remake that was recently released. So yeah, this game looks fucking beautiful. It's really nice.
That's legit, dude. So what are you giving this game?
Well, for not playing the entirety of it, so far I'm loving it. I don't really want to give a rating on it now, but I'm sure it's going to be really high.
I totally feel you.
Yeah, so I'm sure it'll range around 8 to 9 out of 10.
Early on in your experience right now,
it's already sitting.
As early on as you are, how does it rank amongst the other games' early game experience?
Oh, I would say this is by far the best so far.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really awesome. Good. And I mean, it was funny. Someone was even mentioning, "Hey, where's Virgil? I don't see Virgil in here." And I was like, "Oh, well, he died in some of the previous games, which is Dante's brother."
Okay.
However, you see his weapon is wielded by a mysterious character early on in the story.
Nice.
Who takes Nero's arm. You see him take Nero's arm. Because Nero now has like a cybernetic one because it was taken.
Right.
Because he had like this demonic arm that he used in part 4. So then with that, when that person like takes off with the arm, they open a portal with the Yamato or whatever his katana was called.
Okay. And
I was just like, oh shit, maybe that's Virgil or he's in the game somehow. So I'm very curious to see what's revealed about that character later on in the story as well. I thought that was pretty cool. So maybe he's like a 4th character you can unlock to play as or something. That'd be pretty badass.
Right.
Yeah, because playing as him in part 3 was pretty cool.
Very cool.
But yeah, Devil May Cry 5 just came out. I would, again, right now be sitting like 8 to 9 out of 10. And I'm sure it's probably going to sit around there in the end as well. Can't wait to play some more.
There totally is a comedian named Dante Nero, by the way.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
He's been on some of the, he's a New York comedian. Like, he does all the, all the SDR podcasts and stuff like that. I think he was on SDR. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm stupid. Go on.
Whatever, man. Right on. Sweet.
I shouldn't be doing other things.
All right. So, this episode, we're going to go ahead and skip TV.
Yeah, there was nothing.
Because there's just really nothing. I mean,
we're just hitting a little dry spell.
I guess we can like pop up some highlights, maybe. I mean, do you have anything that had popped up in your TV viewing recently?
No, not necessarily.
Okay, yeah. The only thing I can think of relevant is like Walking Dead with the Whispers, but it's just happening, and that's really it.
So we're just still in the middle of that developing, like nothing crucial.
Yeah, like it was a very like Whispers heavy episode last episode because it was just kind of like in their camp. The whole episode was, so that was kind of cool.
I've heard good things about Doom Patrol. I haven't
really.
Yeah, I haven't tried to watch it.
The images don't make me want to see it.
No, yeah, like visually, I'm not all that interested. I'll tell you that much. But
yeah, and that's on the DC app, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm still waiting to see some stuff about Swamp Thing. It's currently still in production, apparently.
That's definitely something.
They added the old actress from the first movie. She's going to be in it.
That's
very
cool.
Remember her name, but yeah, really cool. She was in Creepshow also.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of my favorite comic books, speaking of The Walking Dead earlier, Robert Kirkman's Invincible is being made into a animated series on, I believe, Amazon app.
Okay. So like Prime?
Yes, Amazon Prime. So Prime Video, that is. Stephen Wen is going to play from The Walking Dead is going to play Invincible in this, and
really okay.
It actually has quite a vocal cast, as far as I can remember. I don't want to quote myself so I can get myself wrong, but I'll look it up here. But did you read Invincible?
Not yet. No.
Oh,
it's on my list of stuff that you've told me about.
Yeah, it's definitely his take on superheroes.
Right.
It's you have your main character, Mark. He is the son of basically this world's superhero, Omni-Man. He's the most powerful superhero on Earth. And it's him, his mom, and his father. And his father is, reassures Mark, you'll get your powers one day. Just, like, relax, like, live your life. And Mark's a child and, like, up until his teenage years, and then eventually he's taking out the garbage one day and accidentally throws it into almost the atmosphere when he's like just trying to throw it into the garbage. And he's like, oh shit. So he has powers. So it just goes into him adopting the name Invincible, and then sort of just like living his life. Like he joins like a young superhero team. Shit gets really fucked up. It's a really insane, like dark comic. I mean, as you can imagine, it's Robert Kirkman. It premiered before The Walking Dead. It's lots of casualties, lots of insane twists and turns, the very like gut-wrenching twists and turns, and like character deaths mean a lot in this series. Like, you die, you do not come back, sort of like status. It's a great book. Either which way, I need to look it up and tell you who the cast is, but I don't know. I don't.
When is it supposed to come out?
That's another good question.
All right. Yeah, because I've definitely heard about production or early production about it before. I just wasn't sure like when it was being released or what was happening.
Yeah.
But I mean,
so the TV series, it's gonna premiere in 2020. It says, we have. So the only people who actually have characters that are listed are Stephen Wen as Mark Grayson and J.K. Simmons as Omni-Man, his father,
his
Nolan.
dad. Yeah. Okay.
And we have Sandra Oh. Mark Hamill is part of the cast. Seth Rogen as well. Jillian Jacobs, Andrew Rannells, Zazie Beetz is in this. Walton Goggins, Jason Mantzoukas, Mae Whitman, Chris Diamantopoulos. I think I know that guy. Let's see. Max Burkholder, Greg Griffin, Kevin Michael Richardson, and Malice Zhao. I'm sure there's a lot of notable people within this that are voice actors that unfortunately aren't as famous as they should be to everyone, and I'm unfortunately not part of that culture that knows these people specifically. But I'm stoked on it. I can't wait for this show to be made. That's definitely something that I'm looking forward to on Amazon TV.
But it's Amazon, you said, right?
Amazon, right.
Yeah, that and Lord of the Rings, I'm definitely looking forward to.
For sure.
Because, that show has been chattered about, too, I guess.
Yeah, and I wasn't really sold on getting another one of these.
Well, it's supposed to take place before.
Services. Like, I'm interested in Disney's streaming service just because of the Marvel stuff, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a fanboy.
Gotcha.
But what can I do? Everyone's just like digging into your pockets these days with their streaming service.
Pretty much. I like the Amazon one because it goes multiple ways, though. Like, it helps
Netflix
like with ordering and stuff. And Netflix I've barely been watching lately, actually. Just Umbrella Academy is probably the latest thing.
Sure.
Or if a new documentary that is pretty good, or that's about it.
Yeah. No, I gotta check out some stuff.
Word.
Yeah.
So anything else on the TV radar? Anything coming out? I know we already talked about like what Critters coming out.
Right. We got to watch that Michael Jackson documentary.
Oh, that's right. There was a new Michael Jackson Leaving Neverland, right?
Yeah, I think that's the name of it.
Yeah. There's huge chatter about that lately. I'm not sure when I'll be able to see that.
Yeah.
I have access to it, but I just need to remember to watch it.
Good God.
That's the only problem.
Yeah.
Other than that, let's go ahead and dip into our bread and butter. The
Gooch!
The what?
Gooch!
That's right.
Gucci, man.
No. Our movie section, of course. So, with our movies, I want to go ahead and say we're going to go ahead and talk about Captain Marvel.
Hell yeah.
So,
I really liked Captain Marvel.
I did too.
Yeah, so let's break it down a little bit. I think that we're going to be a little bit in the minority here, which is a little unfortunate based off of what I'm just seeing from most like reviewers.
Yeah,
and stuff.
so I haven't
like
seen
I might have my
anything.
own technical issues with it, but it doesn't really detract from like my enjoyment of what the film was, you know?
Yeah, so see, I didn't see any or even, go ahead and look to read anything about it at all before I watched it. So I just watched it just as was.
Right.
And I really enjoyed it. So, like, what negative feedback did you hear? Like, I'm very curious to see, like, because I
of the valid things that I've heard,
yeah,
people are talking about how the action sequences weren't memorable outside of the beginning of the movie. Like the later action sequences, just
okay,
yeah, or not shot very well, or to the point like you didn't really know what was going on in the moment. But I didn't personally get that all that much. I do kind of get where it wasn't the best action sequences that we've seen in the Marvel universe.
Not only that, she has like powers. So
Yeah, it's a little different.
She's a little OP.
Yeah, just a little bit. Like if Vision was actual Vision and like went off and did his thing.
He's not that OP.
Well, no, not quite that, but like.
Or he shouldn't be, I mean. Like,
the way that Vision is set up in the MCU right now, like, if he just went more or less and, like, went cray, he could be, like, a hardcore fucking character. But
I feel like he's like that in the comic, too, though. He is very passive. He's very just, I'm here to help.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because he could be super overpowered.
I guess. He could be easily shut down, too. He's just a robot.
Yeah, well... Yeah. No, he gets taken over in like House of M, I think, and he like, he kills some people.
Or whenever Ultron gets a hold of him.
He gets super hardcore and kills some people. Like,
yeah.
Definitely. He's formidable.
Watch out for my diamond.
Yeah. Or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'm super hyped on the next MCU like
this movie
now,
definitely makes you hyped up for it.
Anyways, I'll get back to the negative chatter or
yeah.
As such. So people are talking about how she had like a very wooden performance, kind of like no personality, basically.
Really? I felt like that's all this movie was.
Right. Or I've heard people saying that she had no character growth. Like she started the movie a badass, and then she ended the movie an even bigger badass. Like sort
Do
of.
we
the same.
need another story like that anyway? Though this was fresh. It felt fresh doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. It didn't really.
I don't
feel
need
like
to know what she did as a kid. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean?
Well, you got a little bit of that with the like.
But they didn't drag it.
You got enough of it with just the
little taste.
Right. Exactly. And was that was her best friend's daughter gonna be Ms. Marvel? Is she gonna take over? Is she gonna be Ms. Marvel in the future?
I don't know what makes you think that.
Well, she fits the character, I think, like perfectly. If you take her character and you age her to where she's at in like our Endgame time, I think that would be like the perfect age for that. You know what I mean? To be Ms. Marvel. Well, maybe.
Why would we need a Ms. Marvel though? I don't get it.
I think we're going to get one with the next Captain Marvel movie.
Really?
Yes.
That's so weird because Carol Danvers is Ms. Marvel in the comics.
Well,
but then there's another one too.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna get the.
We're gonna get the other one.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. We are, and I do think it's gonna be her.
That's cool. Okay, yeah, I didn't catch that or think of that at all.
It hit me the other day, but I don't know if I'm right. But yeah.
We'll see. I mean, you were right about the villain, that's for sure. But we can jump to that later if you want.
We can jump around. This movie jumps around enough.
Right. Yeah. All right. So one highlight that I really liked about this movie, and I'm gonna go ahead and conflict with those negative reviews here and say, I thought this movie had a shit ton of personality.
Well, yeah.
With every character involved, like it was very like. I was saying this earlier to you. It had a very like Guardians vibe to it. Mm-hmm. Like not just the space stuff, but just it doesn't take itself too seriously.
Yeah.
It's got its era's music throughout, just
Definitely.
like Guardians. You know what I mean? But I think that's what helped me like fall in love with it too. Like this movie was just great.
For sure.
Just throughout with all this, it made me laugh more than like once. You know, I was fine with it because it played it well that way.
Mm-hmm.
And when you see what she can do, you're kind of like, oh well, yeah. How else would they do it? Like, unless she's very like derived of her power, which she was first to some extent, but she was still pretty powerful.
Right.
Even at that moment until later, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, she was definitely powered to the point where she could take on anyone within her group.
Yeah.
And they just sort of
let her go.
Banked on like her just not remembering anything. They were just Bill Cosbying her the whole time.
Yeah.
So fucked up.
Yeah.
And I totally understand.
Oh, man, it was so crazy. But I don't know. Like, I also like the little things in the movie, like how she got her color for her suit. That was cool.
I liked
just
that.
The little girl.
That was a nice
So I was
touch.
like, all right, that's
yeah.
Cool. What's another thing?
Her costume was slightly different in the post-credit scene. It was.
Was it? Well, I guess to match the time.
Yeah, I think that she's definitely evolved.
Or it's Russo's version
over time. Yeah,
it's Russo's version.
Right. And her hair is like a little bit longer and different. Like, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and who knows when this was filmed?
She definitely
was
was
probably
different.
filmed before.
I think perhaps it was filmed before. I don't know. That would be interesting.
Well, no, there was production scenes
probably during
after
the same.
Avengers.
I don't know.
Infinity.
I was not paying attention to the production. I could not tell you the timeline.
I don't know.
That'd be
that stuff's
interesting.
interesting.
That would be interesting.
Whenever it pops up on Twitter, I always check it out.
Right.
All right, but let's see. What about you? What are some highlights you liked?
The Flurkin.
Yes.
The cat.
Love the Flurkin.
I really liked Nick Fury in this movie. Clark Gregg wasn't used as much as I wanted him to.
Coulson. Yeah.
Right, exactly. I really liked the relationships that they started to have, like in the beginning with the team, specifically the just like the banter in between them. Like, I think you're very handsome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
I think that was pretty funny. Just silly stuff, and
yeah, it's like
it felt very Marvel movie to me, and like which was great, but it also felt like new because we were on a new planet and like experiencing their military culture. Like, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was.
It did feel a little bit smaller than I wanted it to. I wanted it to feel a little bit more grand, but it all sort of took place in like smaller rooms. Like, the biggest room they were in was like the training room, or like the hangar I think they were in or something. But yeah, it was kind of Star Warsy almost, like in the beginning, with like them like trying to escape
on the mission
on like ships and stuff. Like, yeah, it was pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Or like at points, I don't think that was in the beginning. Like, at points it felt a little Star Warsy, like trying to escape on ships and stuff.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but it was cool. When she was trying to escape from the Skrulls, that's right. Yeah. But in a great way. And it's also a Disney property now.
Yeah,
so
right.
It's just kind of like homogenous, like
just slap it in there anyway.
Yeah. And
space. This is how you do space.
Yeah. So I heard people were also dinging this movie for not looking any specific sort of way, like it didn't have a visual style. As to where I would say this movie kind of looks like an indie film.
I guess.
Down to like the effects where it's like Ben Mendelsohn, his like full body performance as the Skrull like leader is, on par with like any Andy Serkis performance I've seen. You know what I mean? Like, he did a great job.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought you were going to talk down. I'm like, I thought it looked great.
No, yeah.
Everything I thought looked great in that movie. I don't.
But they did. They did it where it was like those sort of effects are like they lend to it feeling a little bit more grounded, and in not so
Flashy?
fantastic. Exactly,
Okay.
not so flashy.
That's fine though.
and it didn't feel flashy at all. Like
Yeah.
most Marvel movies
I don't
do
want.
feel flashy.
I don't know. I like that.
It definitely felt a little bit more toned down, but like there were definite moments of flash, like when she goes binary in the end.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she has to look like
Right.
that though. Yeah.
It's cool though.
Yeah.
It looked
it
awesome.
Fits. It does. What
I can't
it's
wait to
supposed
see what the Russo brothers do with her.
dude.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. Would they release her?
Yeah. Unleash.
Dude. Oh man, because she's just. Yeah. If we're jumping around here, I mean, once. Because like there's a point in the movie where she finds out that she's actually restrained from her full potential. Once she breaks free and reaches that full potential, she's literally dancing through the stars, destroying ships and laughing.
Right.
It was beautiful. That was an awesome scene. Her just like flying through. And as soon as that's happening, thinking in my head, how does she fit in this next movie?
Right.
When is she gonna like? They have to at least like her powers are gonna be dampened, and then she doesn't get unleashed later. Something's gonna happen. I feel, because just seeing that, I was like, how do they need time travel? I'm just kidding.
Right.
But she's obviously jumping through time too. That was cool.
Right.
So she jumps through time too.
Yeah. No, I think she's definitely gonna be jumping through time.
Or does time even exist when you're out there?
It's probably relative.
Yeah.
It's probably very relative. Like
Okay.
different planets, you're like spinning in different like
Time zones.
Yeah, exactly.
Eras.
Right. Right.
That's fucking cool to think about.
Right.
That's really cool. Yeah, because I was thinking about that when she, near the end where she's just like, oh, I'm going to help this family now or whatever.
Right.
And you're just like, and then the after credit scene and
theoretically they are time traveling when they jump from points in like super speed.
Oh yeah.
That is time traveling to a degree.
It goes back to Star Trek, dude. Yeah,
right.
Totally.
Like yeah.
That's awesome.
And the time
really
that
cool
you
to
would
think
do that
about
would be
though.
ages, but you do it in a moment and you're the same age. So technically, yeah.
It's really cool to think about it that way though.
Right.
Because then it's like you got Doctor Strange with that time stone thing, knowledge of that, and then with her, and then the what's the zone for Ant-Man? What's the
quantum
zone or realm?
Right.
Got all these like crazy dimensional time like rifts or portals, to play with at this point.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool. Or catalysts.
Truth. Yeah, no, there's a bunch of different things to play with, and I think there's a new like plot, a new
Plot device.
Yeah, plot device. Thank you. In the scrolls.
Yes, let's talk about the scrolls. We're
that.
kind of skipping over them. The scrolls, I felt like were performed very well.
Absolutely.
I know in just reading it from the comic books, and I was just like, yeah, this is how I feel the scrolls would be. Just silly goblin-like alien race. Like,
totally.
Just kind of
very silly.
Like trying to survive because they were always like renegades from the Kree. Constantly like running and battling them, and where you get hints of that battle, little talk of it here and there.
Yeah, but it sounds like they're just getting decimated.
Oh yeah, no, they always do.
Yeah,
they don't have any military near the Kree.
Can you imagine what their population is like now after Thanos?
Right.
Like maybe we'll get into that, but I doubt it.
Yeah, like you said, later movies are inevitable at this point.
Yeah, no doubt.
Or their appearance again in a later movie, for that matter.
Yeah, we'll get Super Skrull eventually once we get all of the Fantastic Four and everything.
Yeah. Because without them, there is no Super Skrull.
Yeah.
Unless they take different powers of different people, which would be silly as hell.
Well, I called it off the air, and I'll call it now.
Yeah.
I think Doctor Doom is going to be the next Thanos level villain in the MCU.
Oh yeah, and I'm totally down for that. And if it's not, it's got to be Galactus, especially if you're getting Fantastic Four up in that bitch.
I think Galactus might be a Loki level villain, perhaps.
Why?
Just to sort of
he's
have
higher
a
than
large
Doctor
arc.
Doom though.
Well, he doesn't have the story potential.
That's true. He doesn't talk either.
Yeah,
but that's where Silver Surfer would come in.
Sure.
He talks for him.
But he could also flip and be, a normal character amongst the other Avengers as well.
Who?
The Silver Surfer.
What do you mean flip? Like
not want to be Herald anymore.
Oh no, yeah, and that would happen.
Yeah,
exactly. But I mean, like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, that's where you get a lot of characters, but he's not going to be like, he could. Yeah, they could defeat him, call it good, or get him like away from Earth or whatever. You know?
I guess. I feel.
But
like,
I just feel like there's a lot more potential with Doctor Doom because he's kind of the
I'm
antithesis
just nervous.
of,
Like, you just got to get it right, man.
Right. He is the antithesis of Tony Stark, and he's also the embodiment of everything that Doctor Strange is and is not.
The only problem with that is this is going to be the third attempt on this franchise. This team.
It's going to be the MCU's first attempt.
Sure.
That's my only argument.
But still, like, it's like I'm talking about like the general public, like
trying to accept it. Yeah.
Exactly. You and I are like, yeah, fucking, let's see what they can do with it. But
I didn't
are
even
like,
watch the second
again?
one. I didn't even watch the second one.
Dude, yeah, it didn't turn out very well at all. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like, they keep failing on Doom, and
no doubt.
I would love Doctor Doom as a villain, but like, I don't know. Don't skip out to Galactus either, though. I feel like he would be a good main villain.
Yeah,
maybe their solo movie, it would be involve Galactus, and then kind of like Doom in the back, because you got to establish Victor first before you do Doom. You have to get Victor in there.
For sure.
Sorry, you got to. And then once that's done, then he'd be a big villain for like Avengers or something.
No doubt. That would be awesome.
You know what I mean? Just get Galactus out of the way, because then you have Silver Surfer there to help as well, just in case they need help, because he's not going to live on Earth. He'll be out in space. But yeah, his naked ass. But that would be cool, and I know I'm just dreaming. Let's go back to the topic of the day, Captain Marvel.
Yes,
so
of course.
The Skrulls. It mainly just focused on like a little family of Skrulls, which is cool. But it was like they were just kind of just running from that. It was just this family running from that separate faction of Kree, or also not just running, but also trying to rescue like the rest of their race.
Right, exactly.
That was there.
From Mar-Vell's stronghold near layer, that laboratory rather, that she held up. How did you like the character flip for Mar-Vell?
I accepted it. It was fine. I mean, I was just neutral.
Right.
No hearsay there, you know.
I was kind of like interpreting it in my head, like where Mar-Vell was like ultra powerful in the comic book. Her power comes from like her extreme intellect to like come up with all of this like stuff to make herself
like strategy.
Powerful. Well, not necessarily that. Like, she has the mental capacity to make like that engine that Carol destroyed.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
That is amongst like an ability to be considered like a super powerful person in any world.
Of course.
Yeah, and that's sort of where her superpower was, which was cool. I'm not super invested in those comics, I'll be the first to admit. I liked a few weird Mar-Vell like comic storylines that I've read, like there's this one where Mar-Vell like gets brought back, but from like an anomalous pocket universe, and he shows up, and only to find out when he died and how fucked up his life, like, or how like bad everything was after, or how everyone just got along, and he's still gonna die. Like, it was really depressing. I can't remember what it was, but it might have been a what if one. I can't recall, but
or like an alternate storyline spin or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
That's cool.
Man, I've read too many comics at one time. Yeah.
I get like that with shows.
For sure. Start mixing things.
Let me see. What else is really good? Yeah, like really love the cat. The cat was like a huge highlight for me. I know you hated that one scene, but I felt like it was a valid use of making that point of what happened to Fury's eye this whole time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's pretty lame.
I enjoyed it. I was like, oh, okay, there, it's done.
I hated it.
Yeah. Matt's very distasteful towards it.
There you go.
We won't spoil it, but it does involve a cat. How Fury lost his eye. I'm trying to think what else. There was just so much in this movie. Like, I felt like what was going on that also kind of made you think of like what would happen later on. Here's the question: do you think she's gonna get another movie, or do you think this is
Captain
kind of
Marvel?
Yeah, or do you
Absolutely.
think really? Okay, I felt like this was kind of just like her way of getting into like why she's gonna be there, essentially.
No, dude. Captain Marvel just made $455 million.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's probably gonna see.
Like over the last 2 days? Yeah, no, she's gonna get another movie. Don't worry about that. Don't
Alright,
you
cool.
worry about that.
Well, as long as it keeps like that same flavor, I'm okay with it.
Word.
It was really good. I'm not too familiar with comics myself either, so I'm not sure like what villains would pop up. But
Right.
you know, they're probably just gonna mix it up like they always do anyway.
For sure.
I think the only villain so far I've been very disappointed with was Baron von Strucker.
Yeah, that was kind of a disappointing villain.
I was like, "You're not Baron von Strucker.
Yeah, and he didn't.
Put your ski mask on."
Yeah. See
What's
that purple
going
ski
on,
mask?
man? This is lame.
And yeah,
least
he
looked the part.
He was really unnecessary in that film almost. But
Yeah.
I guess he was only a plot device. Word of the day, plot device.
Yeah.
Words.
Yeah, even Ultron to an extent, he was cool, but that movie wasn't. It was aight. I didn't really care for the second Avengers.
Ultron? Yeah, that's definitely the weakest of the Avengers.
What hit me really hard was
Ultron.
Homeboy as Quicksilver getting off so quick. I was like, oh, you lost points for me there.
Oh, yeah. No, that's...
I was ready to see him in the sequels.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Dude.
No, not going to happen.
And then once they reboot X-Men and do it right, Magneto pops up. What's up, kids? Nope, we ain't getting that anymore.
Well.
Still have Scarlet Witch, but I don't think they're going to do that, which
knows?
is stupid.
We'll see. We'll see.
That's true, because they were just taking his kids, right? So once Magneto pops up, be like, "There's my daughter."
They are also doing that like Scarlet Witch and Vision show on on the Disney app. So maybe we'll get into her like backstory just a little.
That's
bit more.
great. What about Moon Knight?
I know, right? Well, that maybe one
Let's
day.
get new characters.
Maybe one day.
It's like a reboot or a sequel. Let's just go ahead and repeat. No, let's get something new.
I'm down for Blade right now. I want to see that.
All right, yeah. But it's been a while since we had a Blade.
That's true.
So.
But we've already had 3. So, and a TV shows. So.
Yeah, but Scarlet Witch and Vision, they're always in the movies.
Yeah, no doubt. I don't really need that either. But maybe I do. Maybe I just
I don't need
know
a
yet.
Loki show either. Fuck that. Anyway.
Maybe we do, and we just don't know it.
If it has some important plot devices, they will sell me over to that app.
All
if
right.
not, no. All right.
Rank this movie. Where is it going in between MCU films?
I have to rank it? No score?
Just in between. So above and below. Where does it rank in
What?
between 2 Marvel movies? Above and below.
What? That's weird.
That's my metric for this one. What is it better than? What is it not as good as?
That's weird. All right. It's definitely not above Guardians, but it's close. I would say it's next to Guardians on the positive level.
Okay.
On the negative level, as in better than. Jesus, man, that's a lot. Just the movies, right? Just the MCU movies.
Yeah.
Okay. No, because Infinity War. Hold up,
What?
man. It ain't better than Infinity War.
No.
See, this is hard. I can't do this. Your weird ranking system.
Dude, Guardians is way high on my list. Like,
But it's not better than Infinity War.
no.
So it's gonna go for me like Infinity War, Guardians, and then Captain Marvel. Everything else below.
Wow, that's awesome praise, dude. That's really high up.
Yeah, dude, I enjoyed it.
I would probably put it maybe right above Black Panther on my list, and right below maybe Thor Ragnarok.
Fuck! I forgot about that one too.
Just in terms of like my utter enjoyment and like.
See, that one felt very Guardians too, dude. It had that vibe.
Yeah, no doubt.
I like those ones. I like those like Marvel movies.
As per my rankings go, I really liked this movie.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
If I had to score it though, it would have to be 9 out of 10.
Yay!
A 9 out of 10.
That's fantastic.
That's right.
Gooch!
Yay!
All right, so that was our review for Captain Marvel. In the end of episode 56, again, we're the Cinema Podcast. You can find us on all social media. Find us on iTunes. Give a rating and review. You can also now find us on YouTube, as you may be viewing us right now. And you can find myself under Excessive Suppressant. Find my music there as well. I have an album of beats coming out very soon. Matt, where can we find you?
You can find me at Instagram is great.strength. Twitter is Coriander Sprig, and that's it.
All right. Again, we are the Cinema Podcast saying out. Peace.